Hello, and welcome to this space, a place where we explore what it means to live mindfully, peacefully, and intentionally. Today we're diving deep into one of the most profound truths about being human. Your mind can often feel like your worst enemy. Have you ever noticed how chaotic it gets? How thoughts race uncontrollably, pulling you into worry, regret, or fear? It's exhausting, isn't it? But here's the thing, you're not alone. Every single person on this planet grapples with their own version of mental turbulence. And more importantly, there is a way to find calm amid the chaos. That's exactly what we'll uncover together today. Over the next 2 hours, we'll explore timeless wisdom from Buddhism, meditation practices, and mindfulness techniques, all tools designed to help you tame that restless mind and create a life filled with greater peace and clarity. Whether you're new to these ideas or already familiar with them, my hope is that you walk away feeling inspired, equipped, and ready to take small steps toward transformation. Now, before we dive in, let me set the tone for our time together. This isn't just another lecture or self-help video. Think of it as a conversation, a shared journey between you and me. My goal is to guide you gently, offering insights and practical tools while leaving plenty of room for reflection. So if at any point you feel overwhelmed, pause the video, take a breath. There's no rush. Growth happens at its own pace, and this process is meant to serve you. Let's talk briefly about why this topic matters so much. In our modern world, stress and anxiety seem almost inevitable. We juggle responsibilities, deadlines, relationships, and endless distractions. Our minds are constantly bombarded with information, leaving little room for stillness. But here's the paradox. The busier life gets, the more essential it becomes to slow down and reconnect with ourselves. Without moments of quiet, we risk losing touch with who we truly are. And that's when the mind starts to spiral out of control. The good news is you don't need to escape to a mountaintop or become a monk to experience inner peace. The tools we'll discuss today are simple yet powerful. They've been practiced by countless people across centuries, helping them navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. From understanding the nature of your thoughts to learning how to sit quietly with yourself, each step builds upon the last, creating a foundation for lasting well-being. And here's something important to remember. This isn't about perfection. You won't suddenly stop having negative thoughts or feeling stressed. That's not the goal. Instead, the aim is to change your relationship with those thoughts, to recognize them for what they are, and choose how to respond rather than react automatically. It's about giving yourself permission to be imperfect, to stumble, and to grow. So whether you're watching this after a long day, during a quiet morning, or whenever you've carved out a moment for yourself, know that you're taking an important step. You're saying yes to your own growth, to nurturing your mind and spirit. That takes courage, and I want to acknowledge that. Before we move forward, I invite you to settle into this moment. Maybe you're sitting comfortably, maybe lying down, or perhaps even standing. Whatever your position, take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. One more time, breathe in and out. Good. Now imagine setting aside everything else for the next 2 hours. Let go of whatever's weighing on you right now. This time is yours, a gift to yourself. As we embark on this exploration, I encourage you to approach it with curiosity and openness. Some parts might resonate deeply, others may challenge you. That's okay. Transformation rarely feels comfortable, but it's always worth it. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 1, Understanding the Monkey Mind. Let's begin by diving into one of the most universal experiences we all share, the restless, chaotic nature of our minds. In Buddhism, this is often referred to as the monkey mind. Picture a monkey swinging wildly from branch to branch in a dense jungle. It doesn't stay still for long, constantly jumping from one thought to another, chasing after distractions and impulses. This metaphor perfectly captures how our minds behave when left unchecked. We wake up thinking about work, then suddenly find ourselves worrying about an argument we had yesterday, only to spiral into planning tomorrow's dinner, all within seconds. Our thoughts dart around unpredictably, creating noise, confusion, and stress. The term monkey mind might sound playful, but its effects are far from harmless. When our minds are scattered, we lose focus, make impulsive decisions, and feel overwhelmed by emotions we don't fully understand. Have you ever noticed how hard it is to concentrate on a task when your thoughts keep pulling you in different directions? Or how easily you become consumed by worries that may never come true? This constant mental chatter can drain your energy, leaving you feeling exhausted even if you haven't done anything physically demanding. Over time, it takes a toll on your mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. But here's the good news. Understanding the nature of the monkey mind is the first step toward taming it. Awareness is power. Once you recognize that your mind has a tendency to wander and that this wandering isn't personal or unique to you, you can start to observe it without judgment. Think of yourself as a curious scientist studying the patterns of your own thoughts. Instead of getting caught up in them, you learn to step back and watch them unfold. This shift in perspective changes everything. So, why does the monkey mind exist in the first place? From an evolutionary standpoint, it served a purpose. Our ancestors needed to be alert to survive, to notice predators lurking nearby or opportunities for food and shelter. Their brains were wired to scan the environment constantly, prioritize immediate threats, and react quickly. But while this survival mechanism was useful thousands of years ago, it's less helpful in today's world. Most of us aren't facing life or death situations on a daily basis, yet our minds still operate as though we are. They ruminate on past mistakes, catastrophize about the future, and amplify minor inconveniences into major problems. The result? A lot of unnecessary suffering. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is that much of our pain comes not from external circumstances, but from how we relate to them. For example, imagine two people stuck in traffic. One person becomes frustrated, honking their horn and fuming over lost time. The other uses the moment to listen to music, practice deep breathing, or simply observe the clouds drifting by. Both are experiencing the same situation, but their reactions, and therefore their levels of stress, are vastly different. The difference lies in how they engage with their thoughts. The frustrated driver believes every anxious thought that arises, letting it dictate their mood. The calm driver recognizes those thoughts as temporary visitors, choosing not to dwell on them. This principle applies to nearly every aspect of life, whether you're dealing with a difficult coworker, navigating financial challenges, or coping with personal loss. Your response matters more than the event itself, and your response begins in your mind. If you allow your thoughts to run wild, unchecked, and unexamined, they'll lead you down paths of negativity and despair. But if you cultivate awareness, if you train yourself to notice when your mind starts swinging from branch to branch, you gain the ability to choose a different path. Now let's talk about what happens when you try to control your thoughts directly. Many people approach meditation or mindfulness with the goal of stopping their thoughts altogether. They sit down, close their eyes, and immediately get frustrated because their minds won't shut up. Thoughts keep coming no matter how hard they try to suppress them. Does this sound familiar? If so, I want to reassure you, this is completely normal. In fact, trying to stop your thoughts is like trying to hold water in your hands. It's impossible. Thoughts arise naturally just as waves ripple across the surface of a lake. Fighting them only creates more tension. Instead, the key is to adopt a non-judgmental attitude. Imagine sitting under a tree, watching the monkey swing from branch to branch above you. You don't yell at it to stop, nor do you chase after it. You simply observe. Over time, the monkey grows tired and slows down, eventually settling into stillness. Your mind works the same way. By observing your thoughts without attachment, you create space between yourself and them. You realize that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer, the steady presence beneath the chaos. This realization is incredibly liberating. It means you don't have to believe every thought that pops into your head. Just because your mind says, "I'm not good enough," or "something bad is going to happen," doesn't mean it's true. These are just stories your brain generates, often based on fear or habit. When you learn to see them for what they are, temporary, fleeting events, you rob them of their power. They can't hurt you unless you give them permission to. Another important aspect of working with the monkey mind is patience. Taming your mind is not something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process, like training a puppy. At first, the puppy runs around chewing on shoes and knocking things over, but with consistent guidance and kindness, it learns to behave. Similarly, your mind needs gentle, repeated reminders to settle down. Each time you notice it wandering and bring it back to the present moment, you strengthen your mental muscles. Over time, this practice becomes easier, and your mind begins to quiet naturally. One practical tool for observing the monkey mind is focusing on your breath. Your breath is always available, always steady and always grounding. Whenever you notice your thoughts spiraling out of control, bring your attention back to your inhales and exhales. Feel the air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and leaving your body. Don't force it, just let it flow naturally. As you do this, you anchor yourself in the present moment, creating a safe harbor amidst the storm of thoughts. Finally, it's worth noting that the monkey mind isn't inherently bad. Yes, it can cause trouble when left unchecked, but it also holds incredible potential. Those same qualities that make it restless, curiosity, creativity, adaptability, are what allow us to dream, innovate, and connect with others. The goal isn't to eliminate the monkey mind entirely, but to harness its energy in productive ways. By cultivating mindfulness, you transform chaos into clarity, distraction into focus, and agitation into peace. In summary, the monkey mind is both a challenge and an opportunity. It reflects the natural restlessness of human consciousness, but it also offers a doorway to deeper self-awareness. By learning to observe your thoughts without judgment, practicing patience, and using tools like mindful breathing, you take the first steps toward mastering your mind. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Each chapter we explore will build upon these foundations, giving you more tools to live peacefully and intentionally. Let's continue forward together, one mindful step at a time. Chapter 2: The Roots of Suffering. Buddhism's Four Noble Truths. To truly understand how to tame the mind and live a peaceful life, we must first explore the roots of suffering. In Buddhism, this exploration begins with the Four Noble Truths, a framework that has guided countless individuals toward greater insight and liberation for over 2 millennia. These truths are not abstract philosophical concepts, but practical insights into the human condition. They provide a roadmap for understanding why we suffer and how we can transcend that suffering. Let's delve deeply into each truth, unpacking their meaning and relevance to our modern lives. The first noble truth is often summarized as life involves suffering. This may sound bleak at first glance, but it's actually a profound acknowledgement of reality. To be alive is to experience discomfort, pain, and dissatisfaction. What Buddhists call dukkha. Dukkha encompasses everything from minor frustrations, like spilling coffee on your shirt, to major heartbreaks, like losing a loved one. It's the ache of unmet expectations, the pang of longing, and the gnawing sense that something is missing. Even moments of joy carry a tinge of impermanence. Knowing they won't last forever casts a shadow over them. But here's the key point. Recognizing dukkha isn't meant to make us pessimistic. Instead, it invites us to face life as it is, not as we wish it to be. By acknowledging suffering, we take the first step toward addressing it. Ignoring or denying our struggles only deepens the pain, whereas confronting them opens the door to healing. Think of it like tending to a wound. If you ignore an injury, it festers. But if you clean and care for it, it has a chance to heal. Similarly, facing our suffering allows us to work through it rather than being consumed by it. Now let's turn to the second noble truth, which identifies the cause of suffering: attachment and craving. According to Buddhism, much of our pain stems from clinging to things that are impermanent, whether it's material possessions, relationships, achievements, or even ideas about who we are. When we attach ourselves to these fleeting aspects of life, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Why? Because nothing lasts forever. People change, objects break, circumstances shift. Yet we resist this truth, holding on tightly and refusing to let go. The tighter our grip, the more we suffer when loss inevitably occurs. Craving also plays a role in perpetuating suffering. We spend so much time chasing after happiness in external sources, money, status, approval, that we forget to look inward. Each time we achieve a goal, the satisfaction is fleeting, and soon enough, we're off pursuing the next thing. This cycle of desire leaves us perpetually unsatisfied, always yearning for more. It's like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast you go, you never actually reach your destination. However, the second noble truth doesn't suggest that all desires are inherently bad. Hunger, thirst, and the drive to connect with others are natural and necessary for survival. What causes suffering is excessive attachment and the belief that fulfillment lies outside ourselves. When we equate our worth with external validation or tie our happiness to specific outcomes, we give away our power. True contentment comes from within, from cultivating a sense of inner peace that remains steady regardless of external conditions. This brings us to the third noble truth, which offers a glimmer of hope. There is a way out of suffering. While the first two truths diagnose the problem, the third points toward the solution. Liberation from dukkha is possible through letting go of attachment and craving. This doesn't mean renouncing worldly pleasures or living a life of deprivation. Rather, it means changing your relationship with the world. Instead of clinging to things, you learn to appreciate them fully while remaining aware of their impermanence. You enjoy the present moment without trying to hold on to it. This attitude of non-attachment frees you from the relentless pursuit of more and allows you to find contentment in what is. The fourth noble truth outlines the path to freedom, the Eightfold Path. This path serves as a guide for ethical living, mental discipline, and spiritual development. It consists of 8 interconnected practices, including right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Together, these elements form a holistic approach to transforming your life. Let's briefly touch on each component of the Eightfold Path. Right view refers to seeing reality clearly, free from delusions or distortions. It means understanding the nature of suffering and recognizing the impermanent, interdependent nature of all things. Right intention involves cultivating wholesome motivations, such as compassion, kindness, and renunciation of harmful desires. Right speech encourages honesty, gentleness, and refraining from gossip or harsh words. Right action emphasizes ethical behavior, avoiding harm to oneself and others. Right livelihood ensures that your work aligns with your values and contributes positively to the world. Right effort focuses on nurturing positive qualities while reducing negative ones. For example, instead of indulging in self-criticism, you practice patience and self-compassion. Right mindfulness is the cornerstone of the path, training you to stay present and aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Finally, right concentration involves developing deep states of meditative absorption where distractions fade away and clarity arises. While the Eightfold Path may seem daunting at first, it's important to remember that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Each step supports the others, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. As you develop mindfulness, for instance, you naturally become more aware of your intentions and speech. As you refine your intentions, your actions align more closely with your values. Over time, these small shifts compound, leading to profound changes in how you experience life. One common misconception about the Four Noble Truths is that they advocate for withdrawal from the world. Some people assume that Buddhism promotes asceticism or disengagement from society. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. The teachings encourage active participation in life, but with a different mindset. Instead of striving for personal gain or seeking validation, you act from a place of wisdom and compassion. You contribute to the well-being of others, not because you expect something in return, but because it's the right thing to do. This shift in perspective transforms ordinary activities into opportunities for growth and service. Another powerful aspect of the Four Noble Truths is their universality. Regardless of your cultural background, religious beliefs, or personal circumstances, these truths apply to everyone. Suffering is a shared human experience, and the path to liberation is equally accessible. Whether you're a CEO managing a global company or a parent raising children, the principles of mindfulness, ethical conduct, and inner peace remain relevant. They offer tools for navigating challenges with grace and resilience, no matter what life throws your way. Now let's bring these teachings into the context of taming the mind. At its core, the Four Noble Truths highlight the importance of awareness. Much of our suffering arises because we're unconscious of our patterns of thought and behavior. We react impulsively, driven by fear, anger, or desire, without pausing to consider the consequences. By cultivating mindfulness, we interrupt this automatic process. We create space between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose wisely rather than react blindly. For example, imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your initial reaction might be rage, accompanied by thoughts like, "How dare they?" Without mindfulness, you could spiral into a state of agitation, ruining your mood for the rest automatically. But if you pause and observe your reaction, you realize that anger isn't mandatory. You can acknowledge the frustration without letting it consume you. This simple act of awareness diffuses the intensity of the emotion, giving you back control. Mindfulness also helps us recognize the impermanent nature of all experiences. Just as clouds drift across the sky, so too do thoughts and emotions pass through our minds. No feeling lasts forever, no matter how intense it may seem in the moment. By reminding ourselves of this truth, we reduce the power of negative emotions to overwhelm us. We learn to ride the waves of life with equanimity, neither resisting nor clinging to what arises. Finally, the Four Noble Truths remind us that liberation is a gradual process. There's no magic switch that instantly eliminates suffering. Instead, transformation unfolds step by step, moment by moment. Each time you notice your mind wandering and gently bring it back to the present, you reinforce the habit of mindfulness. Each time you choose kindness over criticism, patience over impatience, or generosity over greed, you strengthen your capacity for compassion. These small acts accumulate over time, shaping your character and influencing the quality of your life. In conclusion, the Four Noble Truths provide a profound framework for understanding and addressing the root causes of suffering. They teach us to face reality with courage, to let go of attachment with grace, and to walk the path of liberation with determination. Through mindfulness, ethical living, and mental discipline, we gradually transform our relationship with ourselves and the world around us. As we continue exploring meditation and mindfulness in subsequent chapters, keep these truths in mind. They serve as a foundation upon which we'll build practical tools for cultivating peace and resilience. Remember, the journey is ongoing and every step counts. Let's move forward together, embracing the wisdom of the ages while finding relevance in our modern lives. Chapter 3. What is meditation? Meditation is often shrouded in mystery, surrounded by misconceptions that make it seem inaccessible or overly spiritual. Some people imagine monks sitting cross-legged for hours on end, detached from the world, while others assume meditation requires emptying the mind completely, a feat that feels impossible for most of us. But here's the truth. Meditation is not about achieving some lofty state of enlightenment overnight. nor is it reserved for a select few. It's a simple, practical tool anyone can use to cultivate awareness, calm the mind, and deepen their connection to themselves. Let's explore what meditation really is, why it matters, and how you can begin practicing it today. At its core, meditation is the practice of training your attention. Just as physical exercise strengthens your body, meditation strengthens your mind. When you meditate, you're not trying to stop your thoughts or escape reality. Instead, you're learning to observe your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. You're developing the ability to stay present even when life feels chaotic. This skill has countless benefits, from reducing stress and improving focus to fostering emotional resilience and enhancing overall well-being. But before we dive into the how, let's clarify what meditation isn't. First, meditation is not about achieving perfection. Many beginners approach meditation with the mistaken belief that they need to sit perfectly still, think absolutely nothing, and feel instantly relaxed. When these expectations aren't met, which they rarely are, they conclude that they're bad at meditation or that it's not for them, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Meditation is a process, not a performance. It's normal and even expected for your mind to wander during meditation. The key is not to fight your thoughts, but to notice them, acknowledge them, and gently return your focus to the object of your meditation, whether that's your breath, a mantra, or a visualization. Second, meditation is not an escape from life. While it does offer moments of tranquility, its purpose isn't to help you avoid challenges or responsibilities. On the contrary, meditation equips you to face difficulties with greater clarity and composure. By cultivating presence and self-awareness, you become better equipped to navigate stressful situations, communicate effectively, and make thoughtful decisions. Meditation doesn't remove problems from your life, it changes how you relate to them. Now that we've addressed some common misconceptions, let's talk about what meditation actually entails. There are many forms of meditation, each with its own techniques and goals, but they all share one fundamental aim: cultivating awareness. For beginners, focusing on the breath is one of the simplest and most effective ways to start. Your breath is always available, always steady, and always grounding. It serves as an anchor, keeping you connected to the present moment whenever your mind starts to drift. Here's how breath-focused meditation works. Find a comfortable position, sitting upright in a chair, lying down, or even standing if that feels right for you. Close your eyes if it helps minimize distractions, or keep them softly open with a downward gaze. Take a few deep breaths to settle into the moment, then allow your breathing to return to its natural rhythm. Now, bring your full attention to the sensation of your breath. Feel the cool air entering your nostrils, the gentle rise and fall of your chest or abdomen, and the warmth of the air leaving your body. Don't try to control your breath. Simply observe it as it flows in and out. As you focus on your breath, you'll likely notice your mind wandering. Thoughts will arise about work, relationships, chores, or random memories and pull your attention away. This is completely normal. The moment you realize your mind has wandered, congratulate yourself. Why? Because noticing that your attention has shifted is a sign of progress. Without judgment, gently guide your focus back to your breath. Each time you do this, you're strengthening your mental muscles, just like lifting weights builds physical strength. Over time, this practice becomes easier and your mind grows calmer. Breath-focused meditation is only one of many approaches. Another popular technique is mindfulness meditation, which expands the scope of awareness beyond the breath. In mindfulness meditation, you observe everything happening in the present moment: your thoughts, emotions, bodily sensations, and external sounds, without attaching meaning or judgment to them. For example, if you notice tension in your shoulders, you don't label it as bad or try to fix it immediately. Instead, you simply acknowledge it. Ah, there's tension. This act of non-judgmental observation creates distance between you and your experiences, allowing you to respond rather than react impulsively. Mantra meditation offers yet another path to inner peace. In this practice, you repeat a word, phrase, or sound silently to yourself, using it as a focal point. The mantra could be something traditional like Om, or something personal like peace or I am enough. Repeating the mantra helps quiet the mind and fosters a sense of unity and stillness. If your attention drifts, gently bring it back to the mantra without frustration or criticism. Guided meditations are also excellent for beginners. These involve listening to a teacher or recording that leads you through a specific meditation practice. Guided meditations often include visualizations, affirmations, or storytelling, making them engaging and easy to follow. They're particularly helpful if you find it challenging to meditate on your own or if you're unsure where to start. Regardless of the technique you choose, consistency is key. Like any skill, meditation improves with regular practice. Even 5 minutes a day can yield noticeable benefits over time. The more you meditate, the more familiar you become with the patterns of your mind, and the easier it becomes to maintain focus and calm. Think of meditation as brushing your teeth. It's a daily habit that supports long-term health, except instead of cleaning your teeth, you're nurturing your mind. One of the most beautiful aspects of meditation is its universality. It transcends cultural, religious, and personal boundaries, offering tools that anyone can use to enhance their well-being. Whether you're seeking relief from anxiety, a deeper connection to yourself, or simply a way to slow down in a fast-paced world, meditation has something to offer. And while the journey may feel daunting at first, remember that every expert was once a beginner. All it takes is a willingness to show up and try. Let's address a common concern. What if I don't see results? First, it's important to define what you mean by results. Meditation doesn't promise instant happiness or the absence of challenges. Its effects are subtle and cumulative, often manifesting in ways you might not immediately recognize. You may notice that you're less reactive in stressful situations, more patient with loved ones, or able to sleep better at night. These changes may seem small, but they add up over time, creating a profound shift in how you experience life. Scientific research supports the benefits of meditation as well. Studies have shown that regular meditation reduces symptoms of anxiety and depression, lowers blood pressure, improves cognitive function, and enhances emotional regulation. Neuroscientists have even discovered that meditation can physically alter the brain, increasing gray matter in areas associated with memory, empathy, and decision-making, while shrinking the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for fear and stress. These findings underscore the transformative power of meditation, validating its role as a cornerstone of mental and physical health. But perhaps the greatest gift of meditation is its ability to connect you with your true self. Beneath the layers of thoughts, emotions, and identities lies a quiet, steady presence, the essence of who you are. Meditation allows you to access this inner sanctuary, providing refuge from the noise of everyday life. In those moments of stillness, you may glimpse a sense of peace that isn't dependent on external circumstances. It's a reminder that no matter what happens around you, you carry within you an unshakable source of calm and clarity. To deepen your understanding of meditation, let's explore some practical tips for establishing a sustainable practice. First, create a dedicated space for meditation. This doesn't need to be elaborate. A quiet corner of your home with a cushion or chair will suffice. Having a designated spot signals to your mind that it's time to slow down and tune in. Second, set realistic expectations. Start with short sessions, 5 to 10 minutes, and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Third, prioritize consistency over length. Meditating for 5 minutes every day is far more beneficial than meditating for an hour once a week. Fourth, be kind to yourself. If you miss a session or struggle to focus, don't beat yourself up. Meditation is a practice, not a test. Every moment you spend cultivating awareness is valuable. Finally, consider integrating meditation into your daily routine. Many people find it helpful to meditate first thing in the morning, setting a positive tone for the day ahead. Others prefer evening sessions, using meditation to unwind and reflect. Experiment with different times and find what works best for you. Remember, there's no right way to meditate. The goal is to discover a practice that resonates with your unique needs and lifestyle. In summary, meditation is a powerful tool for taming the mind and fostering inner peace. By training your attention, observing your thoughts without judgment, and cultivating presence, you create a foundation for lasting well-being. Whether you choose to focus on your breath, repeat a mantra, or follow guided meditations, the key is to show up consistently and approach the practice with curiosity and compassion. As we continue exploring mindfulness and related practices in subsequent chapters, keep the principles of meditation close to heart. They serve as a springboard for deeper exploration and growth. Together, let's embrace the transformative potential of meditation and unlock the peace that resides within us all. Chapter 4: Mindfulness in Daily Life. Mindfulness isn't something that begins and ends on a meditation cushion. In fact, its true power lies in how it transforms the ordinary moments of our lives into opportunities for presence, connection, and joy. While meditation provides the foundation for cultivating awareness, mindfulness is the practice of bringing that awareness into everything we do. It's about waking up to the richness of life as it unfolds, moment by moment, rather than living on autopilot. Let's explore how mindfulness can be woven into the fabric of your daily existence, turning even the most mundane activities into acts of self-care and discovery. At its heart, mindfulness means paying attention, on purpose, in the present moment and without judgment. This definition, coined by mindfulness pioneer Jon Kabat-Zinn, encapsulates the essence of the practice. When you're mindful, you're fully engaged with whatever you're doing, whether it's washing dishes, having a conversation, or simply breathing. You're not lost in thoughts about the past or future. You're anchored in the here and now. This might sound simple, but in a world filled with distractions, it's surprisingly difficult to achieve. Yet the rewards of practicing mindfulness in daily life are profound. One of the most accessible ways to practice mindfulness is through everyday tasks. Consider something as routine as brushing your teeth. How often do you perform this activity while thinking about your day ahead, scrolling through your phone, or rushing to get it over with? Now imagine approaching it differently. As you pick up your toothbrush, notice its weight in your hand. Feel the texture of the bristles against your gums. Taste the minty freshness of the toothpaste. Listen to the sound of the water running and the rhythm of your brush strokes. By engaging all your senses, you turn a mundane chore into a sensory experience, grounding yourself in the present moment. The same principle applies to other daily activities. Washing dishes, for example, can become a meditative practice. Instead of viewing it as a tedious task, see it as an opportunity to connect with the sensations of warm water on your hands, the scent of soap, and the satisfying feeling of scrubbing away grime. If your mind starts to wander to worries about work or plans for the evening, gently bring your focus back to the task at hand. Over time, these small moments of mindfulness accumulate, creating a sense of calm and clarity that permeates your entire day. Walking is another powerful way to practice mindfulness. Whether you're commuting to work, strolling through a park, or pacing around your home, walking offers endless opportunities to tune into your body and surroundings. Start by noticing the sensation of your feet touching the ground. Feel the heel strike, the roll onto the ball of your foot, and the push-off with your toes. Pay attention to the rhythm of your steps and the movement of your arms. If you're outdoors, take in the sights, sounds, and smells around you. The rustling leaves, the chirping birds, the cool breeze against your skin. Walking mindfully not only grounds you in the present, but also serves as a form of moving meditation, helping to release tension and restore balance. Eating is yet another area where mindfulness can profoundly impact your well-being. Many of us eat quickly, distractedly, or emotionally, barely tasting our food. We shovel meals into our mouths while watching TV, scrolling through social media, or multitasking at work. But when you eat mindfully, you savor each bite, appreciating the flavors, textures, and aromas. Before you begin eating, take a moment to express gratitude for the nourishment before you. As you chew, notice the way the food feels in your mouth and how it changes as you break it down. Eating slowly and deliberately not only enhances digestion, but also fosters a deeper appreciation for the simple act of feeding your body. Mindful communication is another vital aspect of integrating mindfulness into daily life. So much of our interactions with others happen unconsciously. We listen half-heartedly, interrupt frequently, or respond reactively. Mindful communication involves being fully present during conversations, giving the other person your undivided attention. Make eye contact, nod to show understanding, and resist the urge to formulate your response while they're still speaking. When it's your turn to talk, speak clearly and authentically, choosing words that reflect kindness and compassion. By practicing mindful communication, you strengthen your relationships and create space for genuine connection. Work too can benefit from mindfulness. In today's fast-paced professional environments, it's easy to fall into the trap of constant busyness, jumping from one task to another without pause. Mindfulness at work means staying focused on one thing at a time, resisting the pull of multitasking. If you're writing an email, give it your full attention. If you're attending a meeting, actively participate rather than zoning out. Take regular breaks throughout the day to stretch, breathe deeply, or step outside for fresh air. These brief moments of mindfulness recharge your energy and improve productivity. Technology presents both challenges and opportunities for mindfulness. On one hand, smartphones, social media, and endless notifications fragment our attention and keep us tethered to virtual worlds. On the other hand, technology can serve as a tool for mindfulness if used intentionally. For instance, instead of mindlessly scrolling through apps, set boundaries for screen time and designate tech-free zones in your home. Use apps designed to support mindfulness, such as guided meditation platforms or reminders to pause and breathe. By becoming aware of how you interact with technology, you reclaim control over your digital habits and create space for meaningful experiences offline. Physical movement beyond walking also lends itself beautifully to mindfulness. Activities like yoga, tai chi, or even stretching can help you connect with your body and quiet your mind. During these practices, focus on the sensations in your muscles, the flow of your breath, and the alignment of your posture. Notice any areas of tension and consciously relax them. Movement-based mindfulness not only improves flexibility and strength, but also cultivates a sense of embodiment, a feeling of being fully alive in your own skin. Sleep too can be enhanced through mindfulness. Many people struggle with insomnia or restless nights due to racing thoughts and stress. A mindful approach to sleep involves creating a calming bedtime routine. Turn off screens an hour before bed, dim the lights, and engage in relaxing activities like reading, journaling, or gentle stretching. Practice a body scan meditation, systematically bringing awareness to each part of your body, starting from your toes and moving upward. This technique helps release physical tension and prepares your mind for restful slumber. Even challenging emotions can be met with mindfulness. When anger, sadness, or frustration arise, resist the impulse to suppress or avoid them. Instead, acknowledge their presence and investigate them with curiosity. Where do you feel the emotion in your body? What thoughts accompany it? What triggers brought it on? By observing your emotions without judgment, you gain insight into their origins and learn to respond skillfully rather than react impulsively. This process doesn't eliminate difficult feelings, but it reduces their intensity and duration, allowing you to navigate them with greater ease. Mindfulness also extends to how we relate to ourselves. Self-compassion is a cornerstone of mindful living. Too often, we treat ourselves harshly, criticizing our mistakes and berating ourselves for perceived shortcomings. Mindfulness invites us to adopt a gentler, more compassionate stance. When you notice self-critical thoughts arising, counter them with affirmations of kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that imperfection is part of being human and that growth takes time. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend, with patience, empathy, and unconditional support. Another dimension of mindfulness is cultivating gratitude. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, highlighting the blessings already present in your life. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on what you're thankful for. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a stranger, or the beauty of a sunset. Write these reflections in a journal, share them with loved ones, or silently acknowledge them in your heart. Practicing gratitude regularly rewires your brain to focus on positivity, fostering resilience and contentment. Nature provides an ideal setting for mindfulness, offering endless inspiration and tranquility. Spending time outdoors allows you to reconnect with the natural world and appreciate its rhythms and cycles. Whether you're hiking in the mountains, sitting by a lake, or tending to a garden, immerse yourself in the sights, sounds, and smells of your environment. Notice the intricate details of a flower petal, the play of light through tree branches, or the pattern of clouds drifting across the sky. Nature reminds us of our place within the larger web of life, instilling a sense of humility and wonder. Finally, let's address the question, how do I stay consistent with mindfulness in daily life? The key is to start small and build gradually. Choose one or two activities to infuse with mindfulness initially, such as brushing your teeth or drinking your morning coffee. Once these habits feel natural, expand to other areas of your life. Set reminders on your phone or sticky notes around your home to prompt mindful moments throughout the day. Surround yourself with supportive resources such as books, podcasts, or communities dedicated to mindfulness. Most importantly, be patient with yourself. Like any new skill, mindfulness takes time to develop and setbacks are inevitable. What matters is your intention to keep showing up again and again. In summary, mindfulness in daily life is about transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. By bringing awareness to everyday activities, communicating mindfully, managing technology intentionally, and nurturing self-compassion, you create a life rich with presence and meaning. These practices not only enhance your well-being but also ripple outward, positively impacting those around you. As we continue exploring advanced topics in subsequent chapters, carry these principles with you. They are the threads that weave mindfulness into the tapestry of your daily existence, helping you live with greater peace, purpose, and joy. Together, let's embrace the beauty of the present moment and unlock the infinite possibilities it holds. Chapter 5. Dealing with negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are an inevitable part of the human experience. No matter how mindful or self-aware we strive to be, they will arise, sometimes subtly, sometimes overwhelmingly. The key difference between someone who feels trapped by negativity and someone who navigates it skillfully lies not in the absence of negative thoughts, but in how they respond to them. In this chapter, we'll explore why negative thoughts occur, how they affect us, and most importantly, how to deal with them in a way that promotes healing and growth. By the end of this discussion, you'll have practical tools to transform your relationship with negativity and reclaim your inner peace. To begin, let's examine the nature of negative thoughts. At their core, these thoughts are mental events, temporary phenomena that arise in response to internal or external stimuli. They often stem from fear, insecurity, or past conditioning. For example, if you've experienced rejection in the past, your mind might automatically anticipate rejection in similar situations, even when there's no evidence to support it. Negative thoughts can also arise from unmet expectations, perceived threats, or comparisons with others. While they may feel real and urgent, it's crucial to remember that thoughts are not facts. Just because your mind tells you something doesn't mean it's true. The problem isn't the thoughts themselves, it's our reaction to them. When we believe every negative thought that pops into our heads, we give them power over us. We identify with them thinking, this is who I am, or this is how things always will be, This identification creates a feedback loop, reinforcing the negativity and making it harder to break free. Over time, unchecked negative thoughts can lead to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. But here's the empowering truth. You don't have to believe everything your mind tells you. You have the ability to observe these thoughts, question their validity, and choose whether or not to act on them. One of the first steps in dealing with negative thoughts is recognizing their impermanent nature. Like clouds drifting across the sky, thoughts come and go. They're not permanent fixtures of your mind, they're fleeting visitors. When you understand this, you stop clinging to them or trying to push them away. Instead, you acknowledge their presence without judgment and allow them to pass naturally. Imagine sitting beside a river, watching leaves float by. Each leaf represents a thought, some pleasant, some unpleasant. Your job isn't to grab hold of the leaves or throw rocks at them. It's simply to watch them drift along and disappear from view. A powerful technique for working with negative thoughts is labeling them. When a thought arises, silently name it for what it is: worry, anger, self-doubt, or whatever label fits. This simple act of identification creates distance between you and the thought, reminding you that you are not your thoughts. It's like shining a light on a shadow. The more clearly you see it, the less intimidating it becomes. Labeling also helps you recognize patterns in your thinking. If you notice recurring themes such as fear of failure or feelings of inadequacy, you can address the root causes more effectively. Another effective strategy is questioning the accuracy of your thoughts. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, offers a useful framework for challenging distorted thinking. Ask yourself, is this thought based on reality, or is it an assumption? What evidence supports it, and what evidence contradicts it? Would I say this to a friend, or am I being overly harsh on myself? Often when we examine our thoughts critically, we realize they're exaggerated or unfounded. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed," ask, has there ever been a time when I did succeed? Am I capable of learning and growing? These questions disrupt the narrative of hopelessness and open the door to more balanced perspectives. Visualization exercises can also help diffuse negative thoughts. One popular method involves imagining your thoughts as leaves floating down a stream. Picture yourself standing beside a calm riverbank. As each thought arises, place it gently on a leaf and watch it drift away. This practice teaches you to detach from your thoughts rather than getting entangled in them. Over time, you'll find it easier to let go of negativity without resistance, knowing it will pass just as surely as the current carries the leaves downstream. For particularly stubborn thoughts, consider writing them down. Journaling provides a safe outlet for expressing emotions and gaining clarity. Start by pouring out everything that's bothering you onto the page. No editing, no filtering. Once you've emptied your mind, go back and analyze what you've written. Are there recurring themes? Are certain triggers causing these thoughts? Writing allows you to externalize your inner dialogue, giving you a fresh perspective and reducing its emotional charge. It's also a great way to track progress over time, as you may notice shifts in your mindset as you continue practicing mindfulness. Self-compassion plays a vital role in managing negative thoughts. Many people fall into the trap of criticizing themselves for having negative thoughts in the first place, which only compounds the problem. Instead, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that everyone experiences negativity. It's part of being human. Offer yourself comforting words such as, "It's okay to feel this way right now. I'm doing my best and that's enough." Practicing self-compassion softens the edges of negativity, making it easier to work through. Mindfulness meditation is another invaluable tool for addressing negative thoughts. During meditation, you'll inevitably encounter unpleasant thoughts. They're part of the process. Rather than resisting them, use them as opportunities to deepen your practice. Notice where the thought originates in your body. Does it manifest as tension in your chest, tightness in your jaw, or a knot in your stomach? By locating the physical sensation, you anchor yourself in the present moment and prevent the thought from spiraling out of control. Then return your focus to your breath or chosen point of concentration, letting the thought dissolve naturally. It's important to distinguish between healthy reflection and rumination. Reflecting on challenges and seeking solutions is constructive, whereas ruminating, replaying the same negative scenarios over and over, is counterproductive. Ruminating keeps you stuck in the past or future, amplifying stress and preventing action. To break the cycle, redirect your attention to the present moment. Engage in activities that require full focus, such as cooking, drawing, or exercising. Physical movement in particular can help release pent-up energy and shift your mood. Sometimes negative thoughts stem from deeper wounds or unresolved issues. In these cases, it may be helpful to seek professional support. Therapy provides a safe space to explore underlying causes and develop personalized strategies for healing. Mindfulness-based therapies, such as mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, or acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, combine traditional therapeutic techniques with mindfulness practices to promote lasting change. Don't hesitate to reach out if you feel overwhelmed. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Gratitude and positivity practices can serve as antidotes to negativity. Cultivating a mindset of gratitude doesn't mean ignoring difficulties. It means focusing on what's going well, despite the challenges. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be monumental. A warm bed, a supportive friend, or a beautiful sunset are all valid sources of appreciation. Pairing gratitude with positive affirmations strengthens your resilience. Repeat phrases like, "I am worthy," "I am capable," or "I trust myself to handle whatever comes my way." These affirmations reinforce your sense of agency and counteract self-limiting beliefs. Physical self-care also influences your mental state. Neglecting basic needs like sleep, nutrition, and exercise can exacerbate negativity, while prioritizing them boosts your overall well-being. Aim for consistent sleep patterns, nourish your body with wholesome foods, and engage in regular physical activity. Even small changes like drinking more water or taking a short walk can make a significant difference. Remember, your mind and body are interconnected. What benefits one benefits the other. Community and connection play a crucial role in combating negativity. Sharing your struggles with trusted friends or loved ones reminds you that you're not alone. Talking about your thoughts diminishes their power and fosters empathy and understanding. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, and limit exposure to toxic relationships or environments. Building a supportive network creates a buffer against negativity and enhances your capacity for joy and fulfillment. Finally, it's essential to approach negativity with patience and perseverance. Changing ingrained thought patterns takes time and effort. There will be days when you feel like you're making progress, and others when old habits resurface. That's normal. What matters is your commitment to showing up again and again and choosing to respond differently, and celebrate small victories along the way, a moment of self-compassion, a successful visualization exercise, or a shift in perspective. These incremental changes pave the way for lasting transformation. In summary, dealing with negative thoughts requires awareness, compassion, and intentional action. By recognizing their impermanence, labeling them, questioning their validity, and using visualization and journaling techniques, you gain mastery over your mind. Incorporating mindfulness, self-care, gratitude, and community support further bolsters your resilience. While negativity may never disappear entirely, its grip on you weakens as you cultivate a healthier relationship with your thoughts. As we move forward in this journey, carry these tools with you. They empower you to face life's challenges with courage and grace, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. Together, let's embrace the light within us and let it shine brightly even amidst the darkest clouds. Chapter 6. Loving Kindness Meditation. Loving Kindness Meditation, also known as metta meditation in the Buddhist tradition, is one of the most transformative practices you can incorporate into your life. It's a practice rooted in cultivating unconditional love, compassion, and goodwill, not just for others, but for yourself as well. In a world often marked by division, stress, and self-criticism, loving-kindness meditation offers a way to soften our hearts, heal old wounds, and foster deeper connections with those around us. Over the course of this chapter, we'll explore what loving-kindness meditation is, why it matters, how to practice it, and the profound benefits it brings to your mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. At its core, loving-kindness meditation involves directing feelings of warmth, care, and kindness toward yourself and others. The practice begins with focusing on yourself, then expands outward to include loved ones, acquaintances, strangers, and even people you may have difficulty with. By systematically sending out wishes for happiness, health, safety, and peace, you train your mind to operate from a place of compassion rather than judgment or fear. This shift doesn't happen overnight, it's a gradual process, but the cumulative effects are deeply healing and empowering. To understand why loving-kindness meditation is so powerful, let's first examine the human tendency toward negativity bias. Evolutionarily speaking, our brains are wired to prioritize threats over rewards. This survival mechanism helped our ancestors avoid danger, but in modern times, it often leads to excessive worry, criticism, and defensiveness. We're quick to notice flaws in ourselves and others, and slow to recognize goodness. Loving-kindness meditation counters this bias by deliberately focusing on positive qualities like kindness, generosity, and interconnectedness. It reminds us that beneath all our differences, we share a common desire for happiness and freedom from suffering. Another reason loving-kindness meditation is so impactful is its ability to dissolve barriers between self and other. Many of us live with a sense of separation from ourselves, from others, and from the world at large. We compare, compete, and judge, creating walls that isolate us emotionally. Loving-kindness meditation breaks down these walls by fostering a sense of unity and shared humanity. When you sincerely wish someone else happiness or relief from pain, you tap into a universal truth. We are all connected. This realization not only enriches your relationships, but also deepens your capacity for empathy and understanding. Now let's dive into how to practice loving-kindness meditation. The beauty of this practice lies in its simplicity. You don't need any special equipment or extensive training, just a willingness to open your heart. Begin by finding a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be disturbed. Sit upright, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths to settle into the moment. Then, bring your attention inward and start with yourself. Why begin with yourself? Because self-compassion is the foundation of compassion for others. If you can't extend kindness to yourself, it becomes much harder to genuinely offer it to others. As you focus on yourself, silently repeat phrases designed to evoke feelings of love and care. Traditional phrases include, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe," "May I live with ease." Feel free to adapt these words to resonate with you personally. For example, you might say, "May I feel loved," or "May I find peace within myself." As you repeat these phrases, visualize yourself bathed in warm golden light. Imagine this light filling every cell of your body, dissolving tension and replacing it with calm and comfort. Stay with this visualization for several minutes, allowing the words to sink deeply into your consciousness. Once you've spent time wishing yourself well, gradually expand your circle of compassion to include others. Start with someone you love unconditionally, a close friend, family member, or mentor. Picture their face clearly in your mind's eye and direct the same phrases toward them. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be safe, may you live with ease. Visualize them surrounded by the same warm golden light, basking in its glow. Notice how it feels to send love to someone who brings you joy. Allow yourself to linger in this feeling of connection before moving on. Next, shift your attention to someone neutral, a person you encounter regularly but don't have strong feelings about, such as a cashier, co-worker, or neighbor. It's easy to overlook these individuals, but they play an important roles in your daily life. Direct the same loving-kindness phrases toward them, imagining them receiving your wishes with openness and gratitude. This step challenges you to extend compassion beyond your immediate circle, breaking down the boundaries that often keep us disconnected from others. After working with a neutral person, move on to someone challenging, someone you may feel resentment, frustration, or anger toward. This could be a difficult colleague, an estranged family member, or even someone who has wronged you in the past. While it might feel uncomfortable at first, remember that this practice isn't about excusing harmful behavior. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of holding on to negative emotions. Silently repeat the phrases for this person, visualizing them enveloped in the same golden light. Recognize that, like you, they too want to be happy and free from suffering. Even if forgiveness feels far away, simply wishing them peace can begin to loosen the grip of resentment. Finally, broaden your scope to include all beings everywhere. Envision the entire planet, humans, animals, plants, ecosystems, and send out your wishes universally. May all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings be safe, may all beings live with ease. This final step reinforces the interconnectedness of all life and helps you see yourself as part of something greater. It fosters a sense of global responsibility and encourages actions rooted in kindness and care. Throughout the practice, it's normal for distractions to arise. Your mind may wander, or you might struggle to feel genuine warmth for certain individuals. That's okay. Simply notice when your attention drifts and gently guide it back to the phrases and visualizations. Over time, the practice will feel more natural, and the feelings of love and compassion will deepen. One of the most remarkable aspects of loving-kindness meditation is its ripple effect. When you cultivate kindness within yourself, it naturally spills over into your interactions with others. You become more patient, forgiving, and generous, not because you're trying to be better, but because your heart has softened. Research supports this phenomenon, showing that regular practice increases positive emotions, reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety, improves social connections, and even enhances physical health. Participants in studies report feeling more optimistic, resilient, and content after incorporating loving-kindness meditation into their routines. Beyond its psychological benefits, loving-kindness meditation has tangible physiological effects. Studies using brain imaging technology have shown that the practice activates areas of the brain associated with empathy, altruism, and emotional regulation. It also lowers cortisol levels, the stress hormone, and boosts oxytocin, the love hormone, promoting relaxation and bonding. These findings underscore the holistic impact of loving-kindness meditation, which nurtures both mind and body. In addition to its individual benefits, loving-kindness meditation holds immense potential for addressing societal challenges. In a world increasingly polarized by fear, hatred, and misunderstanding, this practice offers a pathway to reconciliation and healing. By teaching us to see others through a lens of compassion, it dismantles stereotypes, reduces prejudice, and fosters mutual respect. Schools, workplaces, and communities that incorporate loving-kindness meditation often experience improved communication, collaboration, and overall well-being. It's a tool not just for personal growth, but for collective transformation. If you're new to loving-kindness meditation, it's helpful to start small and build gradually. Begin with 5-minute sessions, focusing solely on yourself. As you grow more comfortable, extend the duration and expand your circle of compassion. Experiment with different phrases and visualizations to discover what resonates most deeply with you. Remember, there's no right way to practice. What matters is consistency and sincerity. Even a few minutes each day can yield significant results over time. For those facing resistance, especially when directing kindness toward difficult individuals, consider starting with smaller steps. Instead of jumping straight to someone who triggers strong emotions, work up to them incrementally. Practice first with neutral people, then acquaintances, and finally, individuals you find challenging. You might also pair loving-kindness meditation with other mindfulness techniques, such as breath awareness or body scans, to create a balanced and supportive routine. It's worth noting that loving-kindness meditation isn't a cure-all. It won't erase pain, resolve conflicts, or magically fix broken relationships. However, it provides a framework for approaching life's difficulties with greater equanimity and grace. By softening your heart, you create space for healing, for yourself and for others. And while the journey may sometimes feel daunting, trust that every effort counts. Each phrase you repeat, each moment of connection you nurture, contributes to a lifetime of love and compassion. In summary, loving-kindness meditation is a profound practice that transforms not only how you relate to yourself and others, but also how you engage with the world. By cultivating unconditional love, empathy, and goodwill, you break free from negativity bias, dissolve barriers of separation, and awaken to the interconnectedness of all life. Its benefits span the psychological, emotional, and physical realms, offering a holistic approach to well-being. Whether practiced alone or integrated into broader mindfulness routines, loving-kindness meditation serves as a beacon of light in an often turbulent world. As we continue exploring advanced topics in subsequent chapters, carry the spirit of loving-kindness with you. Let it guide your thoughts, words, and actions, illuminating the path toward peace, purpose, and fulfillment. Together, let's embrace the power of compassion and unleash its boundless potential. Chapter 7. Overcoming procrastination through awareness. Procrastination is one of the most pervasive challenges we face in modern life. It's that nagging feeling of knowing you should be doing something important but finding every excuse to avoid it. Whether it's putting off work assignments, delaying household chores, or postponing personal goals, procrastination affects nearly everyone at some point. But here's the truth: procrastination isn't just about laziness or poor time management. It's a deeply rooted psychological pattern tied to fear, perfectionism, and avoidance. In this chapter, we'll explore why procrastination happens, how mindfulness can help us break free from its grip, and practical strategies for overcoming it. By the end of this discussion, you'll have the tools to transform procrastination into productivity without sacrificing your peace of mind. To understand procrastination, we first need to recognize that it's not simply a matter of willpower. While it may seem like procrastinators lack discipline, the reality is far more complex. At its core, procrastination stems from an emotional response to tasks we perceive as overwhelming, unpleasant, or threatening. When faced with a daunting project, our minds often conjure up worst-case scenarios. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not good enough? These fears trigger stress and anxiety, prompting us to seek immediate relief by avoiding the task altogether. Ironically, the very act of avoidance provides temporary comfort, but ultimately compounds the problem, leading to guilt, shame, and increased pressure as deadlines loom closer. One of the primary drivers of procrastination is perfectionism. Many people fall into the trap of believing that everything they do must be flawless. This mindset creates an insurmountable standard that feels impossible to meet, so instead of starting, they freeze. The fear of making mistakes or being judged paralyzes them, leaving tasks perpetually unfinished. Perfectionism also fuels overthinking, where individuals obsess over minor details rather than taking action. Breaking this cycle requires shifting from a mindset of perfect to progress. Understanding that imperfection is part of growth allows you to move forward with greater ease and confidence. Another factor contributing to procrastination is the misalignment between short-term rewards and long-term goals. Our brains are wired to prioritize immediate gratification. Scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or indulging in snacks over delayed benefits like completing a challenging task. This tendency, known as present bias, makes it difficult to resist distractions and stay focused on what truly matters. Without awareness, we succumb to these temptations repeatedly, sacrificing future success for fleeting pleasure. Mindfulness helps counteract this bias by bringing attention back to the bigger picture and reinforcing the value of sustained effort. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in overcoming procrastination because it teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you notice yourself procrastinating, instead of berating yourself or spiraling into self-criticism, pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? Why am I avoiding this task? Often you'll discover underlying fears or discomforts driving the behavior. For example, you might realize that you're avoiding writing a report because you dread criticism from your boss, or you're postponing exercise because you feel intimidated by the gym environment. Naming these feelings reduces their power and gives you clarity about what needs addressing. Once you've identified the root cause of your procrastination, mindfulness enables you to respond skillfully rather than react impulsively. Instead of giving in to distractions, you can use techniques like grounding exercises to anchor yourself in the present moment. Focusing on your breath, noticing the sensations in your body, or engaging your senses helps interrupt the cycle of avoidance and refocuses your energy on the task at hand. Visualization is another powerful tool. Imagine yourself successfully completing the task and experiencing the sense of accomplishment that follows. This mental rehearsal primes your brain for action and motivates you to take the first step. Breaking tasks into smaller, manageable steps is another effective strategy for combating procrastination. Large projects often feel overwhelming because they seem insurmountable. By dividing them into bite-sized chunks, you reduce the cognitive load and make progress feel achievable. For instance, if you're dreading cleaning your house, start with one room or even one corner of a room. Once you complete that small section, celebrate your progress before moving on to the next. Each completed step builds momentum, making it easier to tackle subsequent parts of the task. Setting clear intentions and deadlines is equally important. Vague goals like "I'll get around to it eventually" rarely inspire action. Instead, define specific objectives and timelines. For example, instead of saying "I'll write my essay sometime this week," commit to "I'll write the introduction by Tuesday evening." Writing down your intentions solidifies your commitment and holds you accountable. Pairing this practice with visualization enhances its effectiveness. Seeing yourself meeting your deadline reinforces your resolve to follow through. Accountability partners can also provide valuable support in overcoming procrastination. Sharing your goals with someone you trust, a friend, family member, or colleague, creates external motivation to stay on track. Regular check-ins ensure you remain accountable and offer opportunities to discuss challenges or celebrate successes. Additionally, surrounding yourself with motivated individuals inspires you to adopt similar habits. Their enthusiasm and dedication rub off on you, creating a positive feedback loop that propels you forward. Self-compassion is another key element in breaking the procrastination cycle. Many people who struggle with procrastination beat themselves up for their perceived failures, which only deepens the cycle of negativity and avoidance. Practicing self-compassion involves treating yourself with kindness and understanding when you fall short. Remind yourself that setbacks are normal and an inherent part of any meaningful endeavor. Offer yourself encouraging words such as, "It's okay to feel stuck right now. I'm learning and growing and each step counts." Self-compassion reduces the emotional burden of procrastination and fosters resilience. Building routines and structures supports consistent productivity. Establishing daily rituals minimizes decision fatigue and creates a predictable framework for accomplishing tasks. For example, dedicating the first hour of your morning to focused work sets a productive tone for the rest of the day. Similarly, scheduling regular breaks ensures you maintain energy and prevent burnout. Incorporating mindfulness practices into your routine, such as mindful breathing, gratitude journaling, or short meditations, enhances focus and reduces stress, further supporting your ability to stay on task. Technology can either hinder or help, depending on how you use it. While smartphones, social media, and streaming services are common culprits of distraction, they can also serve as tools for accountability and organization. Apps designed to block distracting websites, track time spent on tasks, or remind you to take breaks promote efficiency and mindfulness. Digital planners and note-taking apps streamline goal setting and task management, keeping you organized and aligned with your priorities. Leveraging technology intentionally transforms it from a source of procrastination into a resource for productivity. Physical well-being significantly influences your capacity to overcome procrastination. Fatigue, hunger, dehydration, and lack of exercise impair cognitive function and increase susceptibility to distractions. Prioritizing sleep, nutrition, hydration, and movement boosts your energy levels and sharpens your focus. Even small lifestyle adjustments like drinking a glass of water before starting a task or taking a 5-minute stretch break can enhance your performance. Remember, your mind and body are interconnected. Nurturing one benefits the other. Visualization exercises specifically tailored to combat procrastination amplify your motivation. Picture yourself completing the task and reaping the rewards, whether it's earning praise from your boss, crossing an item off your to-do list, or simply enjoying the satisfaction of a job well done. Envision the steps required to reach that outcome and rehearse them mentally. This process primes your brain for action and reduces resistance to getting started. Pairing visualization with affirmations strengthens your resolve. Repeat phrases like, "I am capable of finishing this," or "I embrace the challenge ahead," to reinforce your confidence and determination. Finally, remember that overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you triumph over distractions and others when old habits resurface. That's perfectly normal. What matters is your commitment to showing up again and again and choosing to respond differently. Celebrate small victories along the way. A completed paragraph, a clean drawer, or a single phone call made. These incremental achievements pave the way for lasting transformation. In summary, procrastination arises from a combination of fear, perfectionism, and the allure of short-term rewards. However, mindfulness equips you with the tools to dismantle these barriers and reclaim your productivity. By observing your thoughts and emotions non-judgmentally, breaking tasks into smaller steps, setting clear intentions, cultivating self-compassion, and leveraging technology and routines effectively, you empower yourself to take action consistently. As you integrate these strategies into your daily life, you'll find that procrastination loses its hold, replaced by a sense of purpose, accomplishment, and peace. Together, let's embrace the power of awareness and unleash our potential to create meaningful change, one mindful step at a time. Chapter 8. Embracing impermanence. Impermanence is one of life's most profound truths, a universal law that governs everything from the smallest moments to the grandest cycles. Yet, for many of us, embracing impermanence feels like an uphill battle. We cling to people, possessions, achievements, and even fleeting emotions, hoping to hold on to them forever. But the reality is that nothing lasts, not joy, not pain, not relationships, not seasons, not even life itself. Learning to accept this truth doesn't mean resigning yourself to despair. Rather, it opens the door to deeper peace, gratitude, and freedom. In this chapter, we'll explore what impermanence means, why it's so difficult to embrace, and how cultivating awareness of it can transform your perspective on life. By the end, you'll understand how to lean into impermanence as a source of strength and wisdom. To begin, let's define impermanence. It's the idea that all things are transient. They arise, exist for a time, and then pass away. This applies to both tangible and intangible aspects of existence. Seasons change, flowers bloom and wither, friendships evolve, careers shift, and emotions ebb and flow. Even our own bodies undergo constant transformation, aging and renewing at every level. While impermanence is undeniable, our minds often resist it. Why? Because we crave stability and control. The thought of losing something precious or facing uncertainty triggers fear, sadness, and resistance. To cope, we try to freeze moments in time, clinging desperately to what we love. But paradoxically, this attachment only amplifies suffering when change inevitably occurs. One of the reasons impermanence is so challenging to accept lies in its dual nature. On one hand, impermanence brings loss, goodbyes, endings, and transitions that leave us feeling unmoored. On the other hand, it also enables growth, renewal, and possibility. Without impermanence, there would be no opportunity for new beginnings, no chance to learn from mistakes, and no room for evolution. Think about it. If winter never gave way to spring, if seeds didn't sprout after falling to the ground, if children never grew into adults, life would stagnate. Impermanence is the engine of change, propelling us forward whether we're ready or not. Recognizing this duality helps soften our resistance and invites us to see impermanence not as an adversary, but as a teacher. Mindfulness offers a powerful lens through which to view impermanence. When you practice mindfulness, you train yourself to observe the ever-changing nature of experience without clinging or rejecting. You notice how thoughts come and go, how sensations arise and fade, and how emotions swell and subside. This awareness reminds you that nothing is static, not even your sense of self. Your identity, preferences, and perspectives are constantly evolving, shaped by your experiences and interactions. By tuning into this fluidity, you loosen your grip on fixed notions of who you are and what life should look like. Instead, you open yourself to the richness of the present moment, trusting that whatever arises will eventually pass. Let's delve deeper into why humans struggle with impermanence. Much of the resistance stems from fear of loss, fear of the unknown, and fear of death. These fears are natural, rooted in our survival instincts. However, they often manifest in ways that limit our ability to live fully. For example, someone might avoid pursuing a dream because they're afraid of failure, or another person might stay in an unhealthy relationship out of fear of being alone. Both scenarios reflect a reluctance to face the impermanent nature of life. When we allow fear to dictate our choices, we forfeit opportunities for growth and fulfillment. Accepting impermanence requires courage, the willingness to step into uncertainty, and trust that you'll find your footing, even if the path isn't clear. Another common obstacle to embracing impermanence is societal conditioning. From a young age, we're taught to value permanence, long-lasting relationships, stable careers, enduring success. While these ideals aren't inherently bad, they create unrealistic expectations when taken to extremes. For instance, expecting a romantic partnership to remain exactly the same over decades ignores the natural ebb and flow of intimacy. Similarly, striving for unchanging professional status disregards the inevitability of industry shifts and personal growth. By internalizing these cultural narratives, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration when reality diverges from our expectations. Mindfulness counters this conditioning by encouraging us to meet life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. So, how do we cultivate acceptance of impermanence? One approach is to consciously observe its presence in everyday life. Start by paying attention to small, subtle changes around you. Watch leaves fall from trees, listen to the shifting tones of birdsong throughout the day, or notice how sunlight moves across a room. These micro moments of impermanence serve as reminders that change is constant and inevitable. They also highlight the beauty of transience, the way each moment is unique and irreplaceable. By savoring these fleeting experiences, you develop a greater appreciation for the here and now. Reflecting on past challenges can also deepen your understanding of impermanence. Think back to difficult times you've endured, perhaps a breakup, a job loss, or a health scare. At the time, these events likely felt insurmountable, yet somehow you made it through. What once seemed permanent eventually passed, giving way to new chapters. Reminding yourself of this resilience reinforces your capacity to navigate future changes. It also softens the sting of current struggles, knowing that they too will transform over time. Gratitude practices complement the process of embracing impermanence. When you focus on what you have right now, rather than mourning what's been lost or worrying about what's to come, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. Take a few moments each day to acknowledge the people, experiences, and blessings currently in your life. Whether it's a supportive friend, a warm meal, or a quiet morning, Expressing gratitude amplifies your connection to the present moment. Over time, this habit cultivates contentment and reduces the urge to cling to impermanent things. Loving kindness meditation, which we explored in Chapter 6, is another valuable tool for working with impermanence. By directing compassion toward yourself and others, you acknowledge the shared human experience of change and loss. Wishing someone happiness, health, safety, and ease, even as you recognize their impermanence, fosters a sense of interconnectedness. It reminds you that while individuals and circumstances may change, the essence of kindness remains constant. This perspective helps you release attachment to specific outcomes and embrace the flow of life. Creative expression provides another avenue for exploring impermanence. Activities like writing, painting, photography, or gardening allow you to engage with the transient beauty of existence. For example, capturing a sunset in a photograph freezes a single instant, yet it also highlights the fleeting nature of light and color. Similarly, planting seeds and watching them grow teaches patience and acceptance of natural cycles. Engaging in creative pursuits not only deepens your appreciation for impermanence, but also channels it into something meaningful and enduring. Philosophical reflection further enriches your relationship with impermanence. Contemplate questions like, what does it mean to truly live? How can I honor the impermanence of my own life? What legacy do I want to leave behind? These inquiries encourage you to align your actions with your values, prioritizing depth over superficiality and authenticity over conformity. They also inspire a sense of urgency, not in a frantic or fearful way, but in a way that motivates you to make the most of each moment. Of course, embracing impermanence doesn't mean becoming indifferent to loss or pain. Grief, sadness, and longing are natural responses to change, and suppressing them only prolongs suffering. Instead, allow yourself to feel these emotions fully, knowing they are temporary. Cry when you need to cry, grieve when you need to grieve, and seek support when you need comfort. By honoring your feelings, you integrate the lessons of impermanence without denying its emotional impact. Practicing non-attachment is central to embracing impermanence. Non-attachment doesn't mean detaching from life or ceasing to care. It means letting go of the need to control outcomes. When you release rigid expectations, you create space for spontaneity, flexibility, and openness. For example, instead of fixating on a particular career trajectory, focus on developing skills and qualities that will serve you regardless of external circumstances. Rather than obsessing over maintaining a perfect appearance, celebrate the natural aging process as a testament to a life well lived. Non-attachment frees you from the tyranny of perfectionism and invites you to participate fully in the unfolding mystery of existence. Stories of resilience and transformation illustrate the power of embracing impermanence. Consider historical figures who faced immense adversity yet emerged stronger and wiser. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison before becoming South Africa's first black president, embodying the belief that hardship is temporary and change is possible. Similarly, Viktor Frankl survived the horrors of Nazi concentration camps by finding meaning in suffering, teaching us that even in the darkest moments, hope endures. These examples remind us that impermanence cuts both ways. Just as pain subsides, so too does joy return. Finally, embracing impermanence fosters a profound sense of gratitude for life itself. When you realize that every breath, every heartbeat, every sunrise is a gift, you begin to cherish each moment more deeply. You stop taking things for granted and start living with intention. You prioritize relationships over material possessions, experiences over achievements, and presence over distraction. This shift in focus enriches your days and fills them with purpose. In summary, impermanence is both a challenge and a gift. It reminds us that nothing is guaranteed, yet it also invites us to treasure the fleeting beauty of existence. By practicing mindfulness, reflecting on past resilience, cultivating gratitude, Engaging in creative expression and embracing non-attachment, you learn to dance with impermanence rather than fight against it. This acceptance liberates you from the burden of clinging and empowers you to live with greater freedom, joy, and authenticity. As we continue exploring advanced topics in subsequent chapters, carry the wisdom of impermanence with you. Let it guide your thoughts, actions, and relationships, reminding you that life's true magic lies in its ever-changing nature. Together, let's embrace the flow of existence and discover the boundless possibilities it holds. Chapter 9. Building a consistent practice. Building a consistent mindfulness practice is one of the most transformative commitments you can make for your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. Yet, consistency doesn't come easily. It requires intention, patience, and a willingness to navigate challenges along the way. Many people start with enthusiasm, only to find their motivation waning after a few weeks or months. The key to sustaining a practice lies not in perfection, but in cultivating habits that align with your values and lifestyle. In this chapter, we'll explore the importance of consistency, practical strategies for staying committed, and how to overcome common obstacles. By the end, you'll have a roadmap for integrating mindfulness into your daily life in ways that feel sustainable and meaningful. To understand why consistency matters, let's first examine the science behind habit formation. Neurologically, repetition strengthens neural pathways, making behaviors automatic over time. When you consistently engage in mindfulness practices, whether it's meditation, mindful breathing, or gratitude journaling, you rewire your brain to operate from a place of awareness and calm. This rewiring isn't immediate. Research suggests it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit, though the timeline varies depending on the individual and the complexity of the behavior. What's important is showing up regularly, even if your sessions are short or imperfect. Each small effort contributes to lasting change. Consistency also amplifies the benefits of mindfulness. Studies show that regular practitioners experience reduced stress, improved focus, enhanced emotional regulation, and increased resilience. These outcomes aren't achieved through sporadic efforts, but through steady, cumulative progress. Think of mindfulness as exercise for your mind. The more consistently you train, the stronger and healthier it becomes. Skipping workouts occasionally won't undo your progress, but abandoning the routine entirely will prevent you from reaching your full potential. Similarly, maintaining a consistent mindfulness practice ensures that its positive effects continue to deepen over time. One of the biggest misconceptions about building a consistent practice is the belief that it requires large blocks of time. Many people assume they need to meditate for an hour each day or overhaul their entire schedule to accommodate mindfulness. While extended sessions can be beneficial, they're not necessary for cultivating consistency. Even 5 minutes of focused attention can yield significant results when practiced daily. The key is to prioritize quality over quantity and to design a routine that fits seamlessly into your life. Starting small reduces resistance and makes it easier to stick with the practice long term. Creating a dedicated space for mindfulness enhances consistency by signaling to your mind that it's time to slow down and tune in. This space doesn't need to be elaborate. A quiet corner of your home with a cushion or chair will suffice. Adding elements like candles, plants, or soft lighting can make the area feel inviting and sacred. Having a designated spot minimizes distractions and reinforces your commitment to the practice. Over time, simply entering this space triggers a sense of calm and readiness, making it easier to transition into mindfulness activities. Setting realistic goals is another essential component of building consistency. Instead of aiming for lofty ideals like meditating every morning for 30 minutes, start with achievable objectives that match your current capacity. For example, commit to 3 minutes of mindful breathing each evening before bed. Once this becomes a habit, gradually increase the duration or frequency. Breaking larger aspirations into smaller, manageable steps prevents overwhelm and builds confidence. Celebrating milestones along the way further reinforces your dedication. Accountability plays a crucial role in sustaining a mindfulness practice. Sharing your goals with someone you trust, a friend, family member, or colleague, creates external motivation to stay on track. Regular check-ins ensure you remain accountable and offer opportunities to discuss challenges or celebrate successes. Additionally, joining a community of like-minded individuals provides support and inspiration. Whether it's an in-person meditation group, an online forum, or a virtual class, connecting with others fosters a sense of belonging and shared purpose. Technology can be a valuable ally in maintaining consistency. Apps designed for mindfulness and meditation offer guided sessions, reminders, and progress tracking, helping you stay organized and motivated. Features like streak counters, which display consecutive days of practice, tap into our natural desire for achievement and encourage ongoing participation. Digital planners and note-taking apps streamline goal setting and reflection, keeping you aligned with your intentions. Leveraging technology intentionally transforms it from a source of distraction into a tool for productivity and growth. Mindfulness routines thrive when integrated into existing habits. Linking new practices to established behaviors creates anchors that remind you to follow through. For example, pair mindful breathing with brushing your teeth, or incorporate gratitude journaling into your morning coffee ritual. This strategy, known as habit stacking, leverages the power of association to embed mindfulness into your daily flow. Over time, these connections become second nature, reducing the cognitive load required to initiate the practice. Flexibility is equally important in building a consistent routine. Life is unpredictable, and rigid schedules often lead to frustration when plans fall apart. Instead of adhering strictly to a fixed timetable, adapt your practice to fit changing circumstances. If you miss your usual morning meditation, try squeezing in a brief session during lunch or before bed. Embracing flexibility prevents guilt and self-criticism, which can derail motivation. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's persistence. Self-compassion supports consistency by fostering resilience in the face of setbacks. Everyone encounters obstacles, whether it's skipping a session due to busyness, feeling restless during meditation, or struggling to concentrate. Rather than berating yourself for these lapses, treat them with kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that building a habit is a process, not a performance. Offer yourself encouraging words such as, "It's okay to stumble, I'm learning and growing, and each step counts." Self-compassion reduces the emotional burden of inconsistency and strengthens your resolve to continue. Incorporating variety keeps your practice engaging and prevents boredom. While consistency involves repetition, monotony can sap motivation. Experiment with different techniques to discover what resonates most deeply with you. Alternate between breath-focused meditation, body scans, loving-kindness practices, and mindful movement like yoga or Tai Chi. Explore guided meditations led by various teachers to expose yourself to diverse perspectives. Introducing novelty stimulates curiosity and reignites passion for the practice. Reflection and journaling reinforce consistency by deepening your connection to the benefits of mindfulness. At the end of each week, take a few moments to review your progress. What worked well? What challenges did you encounter? How has the practice impacted your mood, relationships, or overall outlook? Writing down your observations clarifies patterns and highlights areas for improvement. Gratitude journaling in particular amplifies positivity and reinforces your commitment to the practice. Reflecting on moments of peace, joy, or insight reminds you why mindfulness matters and inspires continued effort. Overcoming common obstacles requires proactive strategies tailored to your unique needs. One frequent challenge is finding time amidst busy schedules. To address this, identify low-priority activities that can be shortened or eliminated, freeing up space for mindfulness. Multitasking during mundane tasks, such as washing dishes or commuting, also offers opportunities to practice presence without adding extra demands to your day. Another obstacle is dealing with restlessness or impatience during meditation. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment and gently return your focus to your breath or chosen anchor. Over time, discomfort diminishes as your mind adapts to stillness. distractions pose another hurdle to consistency. External interruptions like phone notifications or household noise, and internal distractions such as wandering thoughts or bodily sensations can disrupt your practice. Minimize external distractions by turning off devices, closing doors, or using noise-cancelling headphones. For internal distractions, adopt a non-judgmental attitude. Observe thoughts and sensations as they arise, then let them pass naturally. Labeling distractions, thinking, itching, helps create distance and refocuses your attention. Physical discomfort sometimes deters people from maintaining a seated meditation practice. If sitting cross-legged feels uncomfortable, experiment with alternative postures, kneeling, lying down, or using a chair. Ergonomic cushions or props provide additional support and enhance comfort. Remember, the goal isn't to endure pain, but to cultivate awareness while respecting your body's limits. Emotional resistance can also hinder consistency. Some individuals avoid mindfulness because it brings uncomfortable feelings to the surface, such as grief, anger, or fear. While confronting these emotions may feel daunting, it's an integral part of healing and growth. Approach difficult feelings with compassion and curiosity. Visualize them as clouds drifting across the sky, acknowledging their presence without attachment. Seeking professional guidance, such as therapy or counseling, can complement your mindfulness practice and provide tools for processing complex emotions. Finally, remember that consistency is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you triumph over distractions and others when old habits resurface. That's perfectly normal. What matters is your commitment to showing up again and again and choosing to respond differently. Celebrate small victories along the way, a completed session, a moment of clarity, or a renewed sense of calm. These incremental achievements pave the way for lasting transformation. In summary, building a consistent mindfulness practice requires intention, flexibility, and self-compassion. By setting realistic goals, creating a dedicated space, leveraging accountability and technology, integrating mindfulness into existing habits, and embracing variety, you lay the groundwork for sustained success. Overcoming obstacles with proactive strategies ensures that challenges don't derail your progress. Most importantly, remember that consistency isn't about achieving perfection. It's about showing up authentically and embracing the process. As you continue exploring advanced topics in subsequent chapters, carry the principles of consistency with you. Let them guide your efforts and inspire you to nurture a lifelong relationship with mindfulness. Together, let's embrace the power of persistence and unlock the boundless possibilities it holds. Chapter 10: Living a Peaceful Life. Living a peaceful life is not about escaping challenges or avoiding difficulties. It's about navigating them with grace, resilience, and an unwavering sense of inner calm. True peace doesn't come from external circumstances, it arises from within, cultivated through mindfulness, self-awareness, and intentional living. In this final chapter, we'll explore what it means to live peacefully, how the tools we've discussed throughout this journey can support that vision, and practical ways to integrate these principles into your daily existence. By the end of this discussion, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of how to embody peace in every aspect of your life, not just for yourself, but as a gift to those around you. To begin, let's redefine what peace truly means. For many people, peace is equated with the absence of conflict or stress, a state where everything goes smoothly and nothing disrupts their equilibrium. While moments of tranquility are certainly part of peace, they don't capture its full essence. Real peace is deeper than outward conditions. It's an internal steadiness that remains undisturbed regardless of external chaos. It's the ability to face adversity without losing yourself, to remain compassionate even when others act unkindly, and to find joy in the simple act of being alive. This kind of peace isn't passive, it's active, requiring consistent effort and commitment. Mindfulness serves as the foundation for cultivating this enduring peace. Through practices like meditation, mindful breathing, and awareness of the present moment, you train your mind to operate from a place of clarity rather than reactivity. When challenges arise, and they inevitably will, you're better equipped to respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. For example, imagine receiving critical feedback at work. Without mindfulness, you might react defensively, letting anger or insecurity take over. With mindfulness, however, you pause, observe your initial reaction, and choose a more constructive response. This shift not only preserves your inner peace, but also strengthens your relationships and enhances your effectiveness in handling difficult situations. Compassion is another cornerstone of a peaceful life. As we explored in Chapter 6 on loving kindness meditation, extending kindness to yourself and others fosters connection and reduces suffering. Compassion doesn't mean ignoring boundaries or excusing harmful behavior. It means recognizing the shared humanity in everyone, including those who challenge you most. When you approach conflicts with empathy rather than judgment, you create space for resolution and healing. Even if reconciliation isn't possible, choosing compassion allows you to release resentment and move forward with lightness. Gratitude amplifies peace by shifting your focus from lack to abundance. In Chapter 8, we discussed embracing impermanence and cherishing fleeting moments. Gratitude takes this appreciation a step further, helping you recognize the countless blessings already present in your life. Whether it's a supportive friend, a warm meal, or the beauty of nature, acknowledging these gifts cultivates contentment and diminishes the urge to chase after external validation. Over time, gratitude becomes a lens through which you view the world, transforming ordinary experiences into sources of wonder and fulfillment. Living peacefully also involves aligning your actions with your values. Mindfulness helps clarify what truly matters to you, whether it's family, creativity, service, or personal growth, and encourages you to prioritize accordingly. Too often, we get caught up in societal expectations or superficial pursuits that leave us feeling empty. By reflecting on your core beliefs and making choices that honor them, you create a life rooted in authenticity and purpose. This alignment reduces inner conflict and fosters a profound sense of satisfaction. Simplicity plays a vital role in sustaining peace. Modern life bombards us with demands, distractions, and pressures to do more, have more, and be more. Yet, true peace often emerges when we strip away the unnecessary and focus on what truly nourishes us. Simplifying your environment, decluttering your home, limiting screen time, or streamlining your schedule creates mental space for reflection and relaxation. Similarly, simplifying your goals allows you to channel energy into meaningful endeavors rather than spreading yourself too thin. Embracing simplicity doesn't mean sacrificing ambition, it means pursuing what enriches your life while letting go of what drains it. Self-care is another essential component of a peaceful life. Many people mistakenly believe taking care of themselves is selfish or indulgent, but nothing could be further from the truth. Self-care ensures you have the physical, emotional, and mental resources needed to show up fully for others and contribute positively to the world. Prioritizing sleep, nutrition, exercise, and downtime replenishes your reserves and enhances your capacity for patience, generosity, and resilience. Incorporating mindfulness into self-care, such as savoring a cup of tea, enjoying a walk in nature, or practicing yoga, deepens its impact and reinforces your connection to the present moment. Boundaries are equally important in maintaining peace. Saying no to activities, commitments, or relationships that deplete you protects your energy and preserves your well-being. Setting clear boundaries communicates respect for yourself and for others and prevents burnout. While boundary setting can feel uncomfortable initially, especially if you're accustomed to people-pleasing, it ultimately fosters healthier dynamics and greater harmony. Remember, saying no to one thing allows you to say yes to something else, something that aligns more closely with your values and priorities. Forgiveness is a powerful practice for releasing inner turmoil and fostering peace. Holding on to grudges or replaying past hurts keeps you tethered to pain, preventing you from moving forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or forgetting what happened. It means freeing yourself from the weight of bitterness and reclaiming your power. This process often requires courage and vulnerability, but the liberation it brings is immeasurable. As you forgive others, and perhaps most importantly yourself, you open the door to healing and renewal. Community and connection amplify peace by reminding us that we're not alone. Human beings are inherently social creatures, wired for belonging and collaboration. Surrounding yourself with supportive, like-minded individuals creates a network of encouragement and accountability. Whether it's sharing laughter with friends, volunteering for a cause you care about, or participating in group mindfulness practices, these connections reinforce your sense of purpose and belonging. They also provide opportunities to extend peace outward, creating ripples of positivity that touch countless lives. Nature offers unparalleled solace and inspiration for living peacefully. Spending time outdoors reconnects you with the rhythms of the earth and reminds you of your place within the larger web of life. Walking barefoot on grass, listening to birdsong, or gazing at the stars evokes awe and humility, dissolving feelings of separation and isolation. Nature teaches patience, acceptance, and adaptability, offering lessons that translate directly into daily life. Even small interactions with the natural world, tending to house plants, opening windows for fresh air, or admiring a flower, can infuse your days with serenity and perspective. Creativity provides another avenue for expressing and nurturing peace. Engaging in artistic pursuits, writing, painting, playing music, or cooking, allows you to channel emotions, explore ideas, and connect with your inner wisdom. Creativity thrives on presence, inviting you to immerse yourself fully in the process, rather than fixating on outcomes. The act of creating itself becomes a meditation, quieting the mind and awakening the heart. By embracing creativity, you tap into a limitless source of joy and inspiration that enriches both your inner and outer worlds. Acceptance is perhaps the most profound practice for living peacefully. Acceptance doesn't mean resigning yourself to injustice or giving up on dreams. It means acknowledging reality as it is, rather than clinging to how you wish it would be. When you accept change, uncertainty, and imperfection, you stop resisting life's flow and start working with it. This surrender isn't passive, it's an active choice to meet each moment with openness and curiosity. Acceptance frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to control the uncontrollable and invites you to trust in your ability to adapt and thrive. Finally, living a peaceful life is a lifelong journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, triumphs and setbacks, moments of clarity and periods of confusion. What matters is your willingness to keep showing up to yourself, to others, and to the world with kindness, courage, and integrity. Each breath you take, each mindful moment you experience brings you closer to lasting peace. And as you cultivate this peace within yourself, you naturally inspire it in others, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate sphere. In summary, living a peaceful life is about cultivating inner stability, compassion, gratitude, and authenticity, while embracing simplicity, self-care, forgiveness, and acceptance. By integrating mindfulness, creativity, nature, and community into your daily existence, you create a foundation for enduring peace that withstands life's inevitable storms. As we conclude this exploration of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness, carry these principles with you, not as rigid rules, but as guiding lights. Let them illuminate your path and remind you of the boundless potential within you to live fully, love deeply, and radiate peace wherever you go. Together, let's embrace the journey ahead, knowing that every step we take brings us closer to the harmony we seek. As we bring this journey to a close, I want to take a moment to thank you for your time, your presence, and your willingness to explore these ideas with me. This video has been more than just an exploration of Buddhism, meditation, and mindfulness. It's been an invitation to reconnect with yourself, to cultivate awareness, and to embrace the tools that can help you live a life filled with greater peace, purpose, and joy. Whether you're new to these practices or have been walking this path for some time, my hope is that you leave here feeling inspired, supported, and equipped to take the next step in your own transformation. Throughout our time together, we've covered so much ground, from understanding the restless nature of the mind to embracing impermanence, from taming negative thoughts to building consistent habits. Each chapter was designed not only to provide knowledge, but also to offer practical tools you can carry into your daily life. These aren't abstract concepts meant to stay confined within the walls of theory. They are living practices meant to be experienced, tested, and refined as you move forward. Remember, the true magic happens when you apply what you've learned, one small step at a time. If there's one takeaway I hope stays with you, it's this. Peace isn't something you find outside yourself. It's something you nurture within. It begins with the courage to face your thoughts, the patience to sit with discomfort, and the wisdom to recognize that every moment holds the potential for growth. By committing to mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness, you create a sanctuary inside yourself, a place where you can retreat no matter how chaotic the world becomes. And as you grow more peaceful, you naturally inspire those around you to do the same. Your calm becomes contagious, your kindness ripples outward, and your presence becomes a gift to the world. It's important to acknowledge that this journey won't always feel easy. There will be days when distractions pull at you, when doubts creep in, or when life feels overwhelming. But remember, progress isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Every mindful breath you take, every kind word you speak, every act of gratitude you express contributes to the larger tapestry of your well-being. Celebrate the small victories along the way and trust that even the tiniest efforts compound over time. I also want to remind you that you don't have to walk this path alone. Seek out communities, teachers, books, and resources that resonate with you. Share your experiences with others, whether it's friends, family, or fellow seekers, and lean on them when you need support. Connection amplifies growth, and together we can lift each other higher. If you found value in this video, consider sharing it with someone who might benefit from its message. Spreading these teachings helps create a ripple effect of positivity and healing, one heart and one mind at a time. Before we part ways, I'd like to leave you with a simple yet powerful affirmation. You are enough. You are enough as you are, in this moment exactly where you stand. You don't need to prove your worth through achievements, possessions, or external validation. Your inherent value is undeniable, unshakable, and infinite. Let this truth anchor you whenever self-doubt arises, reminding you that you deserve love, peace, and happiness simply because you exist. Thank you again for joining me on this journey. This space, the Mindful Zone, is here for you whenever you need it. My goal is to continue sharing insights, stories, and practices that empower you to live mindfully and authentically. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications so we can stay connected. Your support means the world to me and helps ensure that this work reaches more people who need it. Now, as we wrap up, I invite you to take 3 deep breaths with me. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. And once again, inhale deeply and exhale fully. Good. Now carry this calmness with you as you step back into your day. Whatever challenges lie ahead, know that you have the tools to meet them with grace and resilience. Trust in your ability to navigate life's twists and turns, and never forget the power of your own presence. Until next time, be kind to yourself, and remember, your mind is only your enemy until you learn to tame it. With mindfulness, compassion, and courage, you hold the keys to unlocking boundless peace. Go gently, go mindfully, and go knowing that you are capable of creating a life that reflects the beauty and brilliance within you. Namaste.